Have you ever paused, not out of fear or confusion, but because something deep within you whispered, "This life is your last"? You can't explain it. You don't know why, but you felt it. A calm detachment from the chaos of the world. A quiet clarity that what others call life is just a passage. This isn't some fantasy or spiritual cliche. No, what I'm about to share with you goes beyond tradition, beyond religion. This is for the souls who remember, even if they don't know what they remember. For those who sense there's something final about this journey. If you've ever looked at the stars and felt homesick, but not for Earth, this is for you. Today, I will share 9 unmistakable signs that this life you're living might just be your last incarnation on Earth. Listen closely. This is not a warning. It's a remembrance, a homecoming, a truth you already know, buried under layers of time, fear, and identity. And once these signs resonate, you'll understand why everything in your life, every pain, every miracle, has unfolded exactly as it was meant to. Let us begin. Sign 1. You've always felt like an outsider. Since childhood, there's been a strange feeling inside you. Not sadness, not fear, just disconnection. You were surrounded by people, family, friends, teachers, but deep down, you knew you were different. Not better, not worse, just other. While others chased fame, approval, and worldly success, you lingered and thought. You watched, observed, questioned. You felt the weight of existence at a young age. You saw through the masks. You sensed emotions people didn't speak, and even in moments of celebration, you felt hollow. This feeling isn't emptiness, it's recognition. A recognition that this realm, this dimension, is not your origin. You weren't meant to fit in. You were meant to awaken. And the further you walk this life, the clearer it becomes. Your soul has already traveled. You've lived many lives, across continents and eras. You've carried roles of healer, warrior, teacher, child, and elder. But this time, you're not here to become anything. You're here to remember that disconnection, that outsider feeling. It's your soul whispering, "You're almost done." This is your final return. Let it comfort you. Let it guide you. You are never meant to blend in with the noise of the world, because you are the silence underneath it. Sign 2. You experience unexplainable knowing. There are moments, quiet, sudden, where a truth washes over you, and you know it's not yours. You weren't taught it. You didn't read it, but somehow you know. You know when someone is lying, even when their words are sweet. You know what's going to happen before it does. You meet someone and feel like you've met them before. You've walked into temples and felt a familiarity you can't describe. You've read scriptures and had tears form, not from sadness, but from recognition. This is not coincidence. This is soul memory. What you're remembering isn't from this life. It's from many lives. You've walked this earth before, sat in silence before monks were called monks. You've prayed under stars when no name for God existed. You've crossed oceans of time to return one final time. And your knowing, it's your soul breaking through the illusion of separation. People call it intuition, but it's more than that. It's the ancient library within you, finally opening. The truths you know are echoes from lives past, and in this last life, they've returned, not to confuse you, but to liberate you. You are the book, the reader, and the remembering, and that knowing, it will never lead you astray. Sign 3: Time feels different to you. The world races, but you don't. To you, Time has always felt strange, elastic, almost unreal. There are days that feel like weeks, moments that stretch into eternities, and sometimes entire years that pass like a blink. You feel the slowness of the present, the pull of the past, and the mystery of the future, all at once. It's as if you live between dimensions, between heartbeats, between the tick and the talk. You've never truly bought into the calendar, the schedule, the rush, because deep inside, you know, time isn't real, it's a construct, a costume worn by the soul for this brief play called life. And the reason time bends around you? It's because you're nearing the exit. Souls in their final incarnation begin to see through time. They know this isn't forever. They feel the thinness of the veil, and so they slow down. They observe more. They rest in the now, not out of laziness, but reverence. If you've ever sat in stillness and felt 1,000 lives in one breath, this is your sign. You are beyond time, because your time here is almost complete. Sign 4. You're drawn to spiritual practices without influence. Before you ever read a book, before a teacher taught you, you were already drawn to the sacred. Meditation, silence, nature, energy. Not because someone told you to, but because your soul remembered the way. You could feel the energy in places, temples, forests, oceans. You instinctively created rituals. You talked to the stars. You felt the moon's pull like a song only you could hear. This pull toward the sacred isn't new. It's ancient, because you've done this before. You've knelt in forgotten temples, chanted in languages lost to time. You've known gods by names long erased, and still you whisper their essence. In this life, you don't need to learn the divine. You are the divine remembering itself, and that quiet urge to light a candle, to sit in stillness, to place your hand on someone's heart. It's your soul finishing what it began lifetimes ago. You are the final flame, the last echo, and your spiritual instincts are not curiosity. They are completion. Sign 5. You experience déjà vu constantly. You walk into a room you've never entered, but know exactly where everything is. You meet a stranger and feel like you've cried in their arms before. You read words for the first time, and somehow they're already yours. This isn't imagination. This is cellular memory. Your soul has walked this earth so many times, it remembers the cracks in the pavement, the laughter of people you've loved, the tragedies that shaped you across centuries. And now, because this is your last round, the memories come flooding back, not as pain, but as flashes. You're not going crazy. You're waking up. The veil between past and present is thinner for you because your cycle is closing. Each déjà vu is a breadcrumb, leading you home to the moment where all timelines merge and you remember who you've always been. Sign 6. You have a deep desire to help others grow. You don't seek power. You don't crave control. What moves you is healing. You feel joy when others grow. You weep when others hurt. You want people to rise, even if it means they leave you behind. This isn't martyrdom, it's legacy. In your final life, you're not here to collect. You're here to release. And part of that release is helping others remember their own path. You give freely, your wisdom, your time, your heart, because you know none of it belongs to you. It flows through you. You're not a guide out of duty. You're a guide because your soul has nothing left to prove. And as you elevate others, you fulfill your soul's final vow to leave the world lighter than you found it. That pull to heal, teach, and awaken, It's the echo of your higher self, anchoring your last act in service. You're not afraid of death. You understand it. Death doesn't frighten you, not because you're reckless, not because you don't value life, but because you know it's not the end. You've seen it, felt it, in dreams, in visions, in the eyes of the dying. You've touched the veil, and behind it, there is peace. Your fear is not of death, but of forgetting, of being pulled back here again. But deep down, you know this is your final crossing. You've made peace with endings. You've seen the sacred in shadows. You understand that death is not darkness, it's return. When others panic, you breathe, because you've already walked through the door, and next time, you won't be coming back. Sign 8. You attract intense, transformative experiences. Your life hasn't been easy, not because you're cursed, but because you're clearing everything. Final lives are never smooth. They're fiery, wild, divine storms of karma, collapse, and clarity. You've lost people without explanation, faced betrayals you didn't deserve, survived pain that should have broken you, but it didn't. It freed you, because in this last incarnation, your soul chose to fast forward through lessons, compressing lifetimes into years, so you could evolve rapidly. You weren't meant to be comfortable. You were meant to complete. The chaos was never punishment. It was purification. And every fire you walk through burned away the illusions you no longer needed. Sign 9. You feel you're here for a final purpose. No matter what job you do, no matter how mundane life gets, something deeper tugs at you. A feeling, a knowing that you're here for something specific. It doesn't have to be grand. It doesn't need applause, but it feels final, like you're fulfilling a promise you made to yourself before you were born. It might be to heal a bloodline, to raise a child, to break a cycle, to speak a truth no one else could. And when you do it, something inside you will click like a cosmic lock turning. This is why you've endured. This is why you've returned one last time, to complete what only you can complete. And once it's done, you'll know, because the need to return will be gone. Conclusion: what happens after this life? So, what now? If these signs stirred something ancient inside you, you're not alone. You're not crazy. You're not broken. You're remembering. This life isn't a punishment. It's the final chapter. And what comes next is not heaven or hell, reward or punishment. What comes next is freedom, a return to the source, to oneness, to the place where time, name, and form fall away. And you will not be lost. You will be home. Until then, live fully, love deeply, forgive freely, detach gently. And when the time comes, walk through the door with grace, because you are already eternal. And this was your final remembering. Subscribe to 999